Hi there everyone, it's Dave here. I thought I would do a little precursor video to the main act, which is me out trialling a couple of new pieces of kit or hardware I've bought for use on my scooter, which is a Vespa ET4 1998. And I've been using an Insta360 X3 camera on a stick which is clamped to the trim on the front. Now what I have been doing is connecting that camera to my helmet Bluetooth microphone or headset, and to be honest, the connection quality wasn't great. It would occasionally drop out or refuse to connect at all, or and also the audio quality wasn't great. You occasionally cracked up. I suspect it's probably not the camera, because that's quite a high quality unit. I suspect it's probably just the fact that I've got not a particularly good headset. So I decided the other problem with connecting the headset to the camera is that the headset can only support one Bluetooth connection at a time. So if I've got it connected to my Insta360, that means I can no longer connect it to my phone, which means I can't receive phone calls or listen to music, or probably more importantly, listen to turn-by-turn directions from my Beeline sat-nav. So I needed another microphone solution. So the first product I want to talk about is this microphone solution, and then the second one is this Insta360 Action Remote, which we'll talk about in a minute. So here's the microphone setup. Very briefly, it's made by a company called Movo. It's a wireless mini Joe 2.5 gigahertz. You get two microphone transmitters, and one receiver. This particular model has the 3.5 millimeter jack plug, and you can get one, I think, with USB-C and also that nasty little connector that Apple insist on using. So this is the box. I won't do an out of box because they're tedious. Right, this is what you get. And you get a little pouch and a little bit in the back to store it's supplied with 3 USB-C charging cables about 6 inches long, something like that. So let's get the stuff out of the pouch. So this is the receiver, and then don't be alarmed, it's dead, and the other transmitter. So let's lose the pouch, and I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so as I said, this is the receiver, and you can see how small and compact it is with its 3.5 millimeter jack plug. I don't know how waterproof they are. It doesn't say they are waterproof, so my assumption is they might be splash proof. I can't see any evidence of waterproofing. So yeah, so anyway, so if I get my Insta360, what I've done is I've fitted the Insta360 external microphone adapter, which comes with a 3.5 millimeter external microphone socket and a USB-C charging port. All good. So you take this and you pop it on the side, like that. And I can hear people saying about, is this visible? By that I mean, is it inside the stitch line of the camera? And I can say for absolutely definite that it is. So this adapter or this microphone receiver do not appear on the video. They are successfully stitched out of the video, as is the selfie stick, which goes in here. So you don't need to worry about that. You don't see this. I've done quite a bit of testing, and I've seen no evidence of seeing this in the video. So let's take that off of there. So yeah, I've basically found them really, really good. I haven't had any problems at all. The audio quality is really good. They're really lightweight. They're really small. Now this is one of the transmitters. They get supplied with these wind sort of shields or muffs, if you like. and they're okay. They fit over really well, but they're not exactly, they're very loose. so they have a nasty habit of falling off. So what I did, as this wasn't particularly expensive kit, it was only like £47 for the lot. I put 3 little spots of clear Gorilla Glue on the inside of the muff, and then slipped it over the mic. So I was doing it that way. You don't get glue all pushed down over the plastic here. Now that means that is now solid. That ain't going anywhere. I suspect, you know, I could remove it. And I probably might damage this, but that you can buy replacements. They're really cheap, and you know, it would be easy to remove the glue if you wanted from the mic, or just put another one of these on. So I tried that one first, and it worked really well, but I was getting a little bit more wind noise than I really wanted. So then what I did is I went out and picked up a pair of these, which I think technically are known as dead cats for reasons which are fairly obvious. It's a wind diffuser, and it makes a huge difference to the wind noise. The microphone element is actually in the top. It's in here on the top of this mic. So this really reduced the wind noise a lot. Yeah, and again, it was a little, you know, I persuaded it to fit. It wasn't too difficult to fit, and again, I applied a couple of drops of Gorilla Glue just so it won't come off. So they connect really, really well. So if I turn on the receiver, you will note a flashing blue and red LED. Well, it's the same LED, but flashing blue and red, indicating that it's not connected. So if I take this one and then I turn it on now, there, so it connected within a second or two, and in my experience they connect and they stay connected. The audio does not drop out. I've tested it up to 30 odd feet away. I think they spec it at over 100 feet, and I've not had it drop out or noticed any difference in the audio quality with range. Obviously I'm on a scooter, so I only need 6 feet, and not even that, you know, it's just got to connect from the camera to my helmet. I clipped them to the chin strap of the helmet. So disconnected, and I'll try it with the other one. I don't know why, because it'll do the same thing. So pushing the button now, there, a connection within a second or two, and it's rock solid. They've never dropped out. Battery life's also really good. Charge time's really good. They last a lot longer than the camera battery does, so that's all that matters, isn't it? So that's that. Now, the other thing I wanted to have a quick chat about was the Action Remote for the Insta360. I was in two minds about this one, because it was £70, which, to be honest, considering the level of functionality, I thought was a little on the steep side. However, having now used it on the bike, I can thoroughly recommend it, and it's a game changer. Well, at least from my point of view, it's a game changer. To be able to start and stop the camera at will means that it's made a massive difference to my battery life, obviously, because the camera is only running when I think it should be running and when I want it to record something. So a massive difference to battery life as opposed to running it all the time. And also, I don't end up with, you know, these cameras create huge files, you know, 40, 50, 60 gig on a charge if you run it all the time. So this, being able to start and stop it has resulted in much smaller file sizes, and therefore less post-processing and, you know, time copying from one place to another. So anyway, let's fire it up. So let's get it in shot a bit. So if I turn the camera on, you can actually get the remote to wake the camera up from off, but you need to turn on the Bluetooth wake up mode, which will burn extra power. So let's turn this on. It takes about 5 or 6 seconds to connect. I'm not sure why it's not instant like well, it was pretty quick there, remote connected. It varies. I think the camera must poll, and then, you know, it's luck of the draw, but it's usually not more than 5 seconds. So you've got quite a nice display with a blue LED matching the blue LED on the camera. First thing to point out, this is GPS, so it's not connected at the moment, or can't see the GPS at the moment because I'm in the house and downstairs. But it forwards all the GPS information to the camera, so you get like speed, like an altimeter, heading, and there's a little natty sort of map overlay thing, and you can turn on and off those different overlays when you're post-processing your video, so you don't have to have them on. Then you get two battery indicators. The one on the left is the battery status of the remote, and the one on the right is the battery status for the camera, and it's got a little camera next to it, so you know which one's which. Then it tells you your shooting mode, which is video. Got 2 hours and 12 minutes of record time left, and on 5.7K, 30 frames a second. Now you can cycle through remote. There's another little button up here, sorry, on the top left. You can cycle through modes. So video, it's very responsive. Time shift, loop recording, photo, video. Now for some reason it doesn't cycle through all the modes of the camera, and I don't know why, because that seems like a fairly simple software update. So Insta, come on, software update. But to be honest, I don't know how useful that is. I would only be shooting in video, possibly might stop the bike, switch to photo and take a quick still, maybe. So for me, it's not a big deal. You know, I've never used that feature. I just leave it in video. You probably can see it better now that it's, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Right. It tells you it's in video mode. Now, to me, there's one feature which is the most useful feature. I find the most useful feature. I mean, this little screen's great, but it's quite small. It's only 1 inch square, and it's quite difficult to see exactly what's going on the screen when you're on a scooter doing like 30 miles an hour. You do not want to be peering at this screen trying to figure out what the camera's doing. I mean, that's just dangerous. So if I start the recording, so it's start recording. As soon as the recording starts, the blue LED flashes red in sympathy with the camera, so it's now gone from blue to red, indicating that it's recording, and they flash in sympathy, and it tells you how many seconds you've recorded for. Now this flashing LED, although that might seem like a really trivial feature, is the most useful feature, because once you're recording, I've got this mounted on the wing mirror post of the bike. I can see that flashing LED out of the corner of my eye, or with a very quick glance, and I don't need to take my eye off the road, and I know that the camera's recording, and I can just forget the display because I know it's in the right mode, because I put it in the right mode before I set out. So that is the most useful feature, having a flashing LED. And then if I stop it, the camera will stop, and then it goes back blue again, and then it will, I think when this backlight goes out, it goes green. So that's it really. I mean, what else can you say about it? It's a wrist remote. This is the wrist strap that comes with a smaller one that you can use to attach to a selfie stick. It does what it says on the tin. I would say if you're mobile shooting, or on a push bike or a motorbike or a scooter or a car maybe, where you're in motion, this is a must-have accessory. This is the way to turn on and off your camera at will, and it works, and it's really solid. So I wouldn't hesitate in buying this again. Battery life seems as good. It's certainly better than the camera. So yeah, that's it really. Hope that was useful, and if you've bothered to watch this bit, then maybe you'll watch the actual video which follows, which is me out on the scooter demonstrating the mic and the Action Remote. I mean, in terms of the microphone, I guess you can make up your own mind whether you think it sounds okay. I thought it sounded okay. You have to take into account that there's quite a lot of engine noise, but that's my scooter, and it's just very noisy. So anyway, enough of this. Thanks for watching, and hope you watch the rest of the video. Take it easy. Okay, this is going to be a test of two things really. The Movo Mini Duo microphone and its paired receiver, which I've got plugged into my Insta360 X3 camera using the side adapter. So it's a 3.5mm jack plug into the side. Both the Movo receiver and the adapter are inside the stitch line of the camera, so hopefully won't be visible. And the other thing I'm testing is the Action Remote, which I've just got my hands on, strapped to the left-hand wing mirror of the bike, so that I can basically stop and start the camera at will. So yeah, one of the main things I wanted to test was with the microphone was basically the wind noise, the impact of wind noise. I've tried it once now. Well, I'm going to do a couple of runs. There's a little stretch of dual carriageway running into Bath, so I'm going to wang up and down that a couple of times with various different mic options to see how it sounds. So yeah. So it's a beautiful evening, nice and warm, and the sun's out and it's not raining, which is a bit of a result. So just riding out of Oldland. Hopefully we're not going to get any rain. It's looking a little bit stormy in places, but should be okay hopefully. So at the moment I've got the Movo microphone clipped to the chin strap, or the side chin strap of my helmet, and I've got what's generally referred to as a dead cat attached to it, which I'll take some photographs of later. I've also got the other microphone, because it's a duo, mini duo, so you get two microphone transmitters and one receiver, and if you turn both microphones on, then you get both audio feeds mixed together in equal amounts. So for example, if you had you were doing a vlog and you had a co-vlogger, or you were on a bike and you had somebody riding pillion, you could use both microphones and then get a mixture of two people's audio together. But I don't think there's any way of independently controlling the volume of each mic, but you can mute each mic. So I'm going to try some sort of speed runs with the microphone with its supplied windshield, the dead cat, which is what I've got on now, and then I'm also going to try it with the dead cat in its noise reduction mode, or wind reduction mode, and see if that makes much in the way of any difference. So yeah. Okay, this is a reasonably quick bit of road coming up here. This is the road out to Keynsham. It's just an A road, but it's reasonably quick, so I'll get a bit of a wiggle on, and we'll see how much wind noise. Or I'm thinking I'm going to get quite a lot of engine noise as well, because this bike has got an aftermarket exhaust fitted, which is well, by all accounts, quite noisy, and I can hear it loud and clear with the helmet on. So I would imagine the microphone is going to pick the engine noise up. I'm hoping the engine noise is not going to be too overbearing, but you do have to take into account this is a noisy exhaust. A couple of people have commented me that it's gives the impression the bike's got an awful lot more engine than it actually has. So that's about 45 miles an hour. It's quite windy today. The microphone had no noise reduction on the microphone, just the dead cat, which I've actually glued in place because I was concerned it was just going to blow off, because it's obviously not designed specifically for this microphone, so it took a little bit of persuading to get it to fit. I can't see anything, the sun's too bright. So yeah, that was the little run the Caterham. So here's the globe on the right, and I'm going to go left here, which is on a dual carriageway, because I wanted to do a little speed test with the microphone, see what the audio was like at speed. So I'm turning left onto the dual carriageway, and I'll get her up to about 50, and then I'm going to take the lower road into Bath. So here we go. Well, this car will go a little bit faster. So that's 40, 50, 55, about 55 now. So I'll keep her in the speed limit. About 58. I've got a bit more headroom on the little ET4 here, but I don't want to rag the engine too hard. That's not nowhere near full throttle. I don't know how much quicker she'll go. I've never really run in full throttle, to be honest. I don't know. The 55 is quite easy, quick enough for me, thank you. Okay, well I'm just heading out of, that was Salford. I'm heading towards Bath, heading towards the dual carriageway. I'm still using the Movo Mini Duo clip to my chin strap with the dead cat on it. One thing I will point out about will mention about these Movo microphones is the connection is extremely good. You literally just turn the receiver on, you turn the transmitter on, and they just connect within half a second. So the light goes from flashing red, blue to solid blue, which means it's connected. It connects virtually instantly, and in my experience it stays connected. The connection is rock solid. And I've tried it quite extensively, and I haven't tried a range check, but then obviously I'm on a scooter, so I don't really, it says about 160 odd feet or something. I don't know, I haven't tried that, but I've certainly been 20 or 30 feet away and had no problems. So obviously if you're using it on like a bike or a scooter like I am, that sort of range is irrelevant really. But the audio quality is very good, and it doesn't drop out, it doesn't crack up. That was the problem I was having before. I've got a Bluetooth helmet audio system, and I was connecting that directly to the Insta360 X3, and I was finding it was a little unreliable. The audio kept dropping out, whereas obviously this goes in on a 3.5mm jack plug socket, so it's not actually connected to the camera, it's connected, you know, from Movo transmitter to the Movo receiver. So I'm just about to go onto the dual carriageway now, so this will be interesting. Try not to get killed, should be a good idea. Right, so I'll get up to about 50 if these cars will let me. It's only a little short bit of dual carriageway, but okay, that's 50. That's 50 miles an hour. That's a Movo 2 Duo with the dead cat on my helmet chin strap. So I don't know what that's going to be like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the other end, and then I'm going to do the same run, but I'm going to put the noise, I'm going to put the wind reduction on. It's got a wind reduction mode. At the moment it's just set to normal. Right, so I'll pull off here, I'm going to turn around and go back the other way. Okay, so this is exactly the same test, well, same route, but now I've got the Movo 2 in exactly the same position with the dead cat on, but I've now got the wind reduction mode enabled, which is a double tap on the little button. So again, 50 miles an hour down the dual carriageway. This I'm out of that with the wind reduction mode switched on, and you know the wind reduction mode switched on because the little LED
flashes to tell you it's off. Okay, back again. So now what I've done, I put the Movo 2 microphone inside my jacket. So I've got a little pocket on the right hand side of my jacket, and I've clipped the Movo in there and then zipped the jacket over the top. So it's still got the dead cat on it, but it's now inside my jacket as opposed to outside. So I will see what that sounds like, I guess. Whether it'll actually pick up my voice inside the jacket, I'm not sure. But you would have thought that the wind noise would be significantly less, because it's completely sheltered by my jacket now. But the traffic's a bit heavy, so I think I'm going to not do too many more, not do another run on this dual carriageway. Right, I'm heading into Bath on the lower road. Usually I go on the A4 and then go through the middle of town, but there's a lot of traffic tonight. It's really busy. Well, it's kind of rush hour, so I decided to go on. This is the A36, the lower road, for change. So again, same. I've still got the Movo 2 with the dead cat, I like calling it that, on my chin strap. So I've taken it out of my jacket because I'm kind of hoping it works and I don't need it in my jacket. We'll see really when I get back. You know, the only way you can know whether these things work is try them. I will say one thing: the dead cat's a little tickly on the cheek. I'll give you that much. It's right on my sort of cheek, basically. It's in the wind. It's I'm not sure if it's pleasant or not, to be honest. Anyway, whatever. So the other thing obviously I was reviewing on this little ride is the Insta360 Action Remote, which I have to say is a complete game changer. I know it's a bit expensive. It was about 70 quid, which I thought was a bit steep considering the fact that it doesn't have an awful lot of functionality. You know, you can cycle through a few of the camera modes and start and stop recording, and that's about it. But one feature it does have, which sounds like a minor point, but it's actually a really good point, a really good thing, is if you're familiar with the Insta360 X3 camera, when you record, there's a sort of large LED at the bottom that goes from blue to flashing red to tell you it's recording, like most cameras tend to do. But what happens with the Action Remote is that it has a similar LED on the front, which goes from green, which means you're not recording, to flashing red in sympathy with the camera when you are. So although the display on it is, you know, it's about what, inch square, maybe a little bit bigger, it would be quite difficult to tell on that LCD whether you were recording or not. You'd have to look pretty carefully, and I got a feeling that it wouldn't be. I have a feeling it potentially be a bit dangerous. I mean, it's all very well if you're walking along, you know, but if you're on a scooter or a motorbike, you don't really want to be sort of like trying to peer down at a funny angle to see if your camera's recording or not. So with this, which is strapped to my the Action Remote, which is strapped to my left wing mirror post, it's literally just a glance, and you can see it's recording because the red light's flashing, which is particularly useful obviously if the cameras, I mean, I could look up to where the camera is on the end of the selfie stick, but again, that's taking your eyes off the road, whereas literally just checking my wing mirror is enough, which you should be doing anyway. Checking my wing mirror is enough to see that the camera's recording. I can see it's flashing red out the corner of my eye without even looking at it. So yeah, that's really, really good. That's an excellent feature. That's a very small feature, but invaluable. But actually, I've been able to start and stop the camera at will is fantastic, because you know these cameras do A, chew through batteries, and B, chew through memory cards. Actually, it's not memory card limited. I found. I mean, I've got a 128 gig stick in there, and that it doesn't really. And I've not used any more than about half of that so far. But what does get chewed up quite rapidly is the battery. So yeah, honestly, it's got a removable battery, which is a brilliant feature. So you can, swap the battery out. But if you can stop and start the recording and just record bits that are interesting to you, and limit the amount of, and also limits the amount of footage you've got to sift through afterwards, and the amount of file, and the, some of the file sizes are huge. I've been getting like 40, 50, 60 gigs worth of data off of it in the life of one battery. So being able to stop the recording and then start it again, just with with a touch of a button, without having to keep stopping the bike and winding the selfie stick down and then messing around, it's brilliant. Well, I'm going to stop a minute because it's extremely busy. Well, oh no, I might just follow that fella. He's got the right idea, hasn't he? It's me sitting in the blooming queue. I'm on a scooter. What am I doing? Follow Mr. Learner in front of me. So I thought I'd come out at this time because the light is particularly nice at the moment. It's sort of, the sun's just going down, and it's sort of coming down through the autumn trees. And apart from the blasted traffic, which is a constant feature of Bath, it's actually really good. See how many leaves there are on the ground. You've got to be a bit careful. I mean, luckily it's not wet at the moment, so it's not too bad, but a lot of the roads are still we've had a lot of rain over the last 2 weeks. See how pretty light through the trees. Just got to be careful to keep my eye on the road and not keep my eye, make sure nobody does nothing stupid. So at some point I've got to cut through this line of traffic, because I need to be in the other lane. I want to turn left up here, mad as it may seem. I could have gone through there, to be honest. But made it through. Slightly dodgy manoeuvre, but managed it. Right, so this is the prettiness of Bath. Glad I'm not, it's murder getting in and out of this place. It really is. It's so much easier on a scooter. I'd be here for an hour, maybe more, trying to get through this lot. This is a particularly nice line of traditional Bath Georgian buildings over on the left here. Well, and the right for that matter. They're very pretty. So I'm going to do another little, I'm going to go down, this is sort of reverse of the route I normally take. So I'm going to go down here and then we'll have a little spin round a very, oh that was handy, green light. I do like going out on my scooter, I have to say. It's extremely bright, sunny. I do really enjoy it. It's sort of very relaxing and somehow scary at the same time. Well, not scary, you've got to keep your wits about you, obviously. But so far, if I had any wood to touch, I would, but I don't. So far, having done well over 1,000 miles on my little scooter, I haven't had a problem, he said. So this is a bit of a... So I'm going to go down here, and we're going to go around this beautiful square. See how much traffic there is, it's a nightmare. Follow Mr. Delivery Driver. There we go. It's handy, got the lights again. So we go around this beautiful square. Try and slow down a little bit so I don't miss any of it. So I'm going to go round in this loop. Unfortunately, the road I wanted to turn into, which is Gay Street, the route I took, you can't turn right. So I'm going to have to go round this square, and then back up the way I came, and then I can. Well, I don't go right, then I go straight on. Right, here we go. See how pretty it is. So I don't know how much engine noise this mic's picking up. That's the only thing that might be a problem. No amount of fitting dead cats is going to stop it picking up engine noise. But it is a microphone, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's just that, although I love the sound of this bike, I'm hoping the engine's not drowning out my voice. Right, we're going to go right here. Right, to yet another row of traffic. This is a nice time to see Bath. At least we're not going too fast, so we can actually get the opportunity to actually have a look at beautiful buildings, which Bath is so famous. So I want to go straight on up here, which is where I couldn't go before because you can't turn right. I don't think you can turn right anyway. This is a particularly spectacular set of buildings up here. One way clockwise, so I'll do a couple of loops, and luckily the sun's dipped behind the buildings now, so slow down a little bit. That's Royal Crescent off to the left. Always packed with tourists. I think this is actually nicer than Royal Crescent personally. Royal Crescent's really, really nice, but I just love this circular with the beautiful trees in the middle, and it's just spectacular. Right, we're going to hang a left here. My daughter's orthodontist was just over there, so I used to come to this and sit and wait for her when she was having her braces fitted. So it wasn't a hardship. And more beautiful buildings to the left and to the right, and behind, well, and in front. That's where the 360-degree camera really comes into its own, really, because you can spin around and show people everything. You don't have to go back and do multiple trips. Now I can't make up my mind which way I'm going to go back. I don't know. So we're heading up Lansdowne Hill. I think it's conspicuously called, due to that's a hill and it goes to Lansdowne. Young girl, it's alright. Again, there's a particularly beautiful church at the top of this hill. So I bet you're hearing the engine noise now. Old Minty, throaty girl. sorry. Come on. What, get me there then. Right, it's going to look really nice in this early evening light. Buildings off to the left, look at that. Tell you about the flats on the right, but never mind. I don't have anybody behind me, so I'm going to hang a left here, which takes me out to Lansdowne. Yeah, well, it's got scaffolding all around it at the moment, but apart from that, it's very nice. Royal High School. It's an all girls school, I think. Yeah, Royal High, I think that's all girls, yeah. There's a gradual incline out of Bath, well, every way out of Bath's uphill, because it's all in a sort of a big natural bowl. So any way in is always downhill, and any way out is always uphill, no matter which way you go. Temporary lights. Okay, so we're up on the flat now. This road, the Lansdowne Road, takes us out past Bath race course, as in horse racing course. It's a shame we got the bus, but oh, it's such a pain, aren't they? I'm gonna get past the blasted thing. Hoping my selfie stick doesn't blow over. The last time I came down here I was doing about 50 and the selfie stick went over. It's a beautiful night up here. I'm hoping I'm not getting too much wind noise and this dead cat is actually doing its job. Right, so that's about 45 miles an hour. It'll get very windy up here because it's on the flat. It's always windy up here. Park and ride. Always advisable to get the park and ride into Bath if you can. It will cost a fortune to park your car. Nearly £7 now, minimum charge. Nudging 50. Do not turn right. Always scares me, that bit. There's no way if that guy turned right, there's no way in a million years I'd ever stop. Nice pub. Chalcombe. Very bit expensive, but it's nice in the summer. I get all the racing types go in there. hence it being expensive. Station or the fire training centre off to the left. So hopefully as we come down here, down the hill, off the top of this flat, around the corner, you get some really lovely views down over Tracy Park Golf Club, of course, just down here. I'm hoping it's not going to be too wet down here. It's not looking too bad, but tends to get quite badly flooded down the bottom. So off to the left there with this lovely evening light. This corner. Cars behind me, which I was hoping to avoid. We'll just have to wait, not going down here like a lunatic if it's wet. Wet. Oil on the road as well. It's not a good combination. Stay in the dry patches. You never can be sure on this road when there's going to be a river running across it. It's also, there's a lot of farm vehicles around this neck of the woods, so you get a lot of mud and crap and leaves all over the road. Probably cursing me behind, but I don't really care. It's very wet down here and then it sort of dries out on the other side. Well, that was a nice little run, wasn't too bad. So this brings us out the top of Wick. Then I'll head back down to home. So coming down through Wick. So all in all, sort of in conclusion, I guess, obviously I haven't heard what the audio quality is going to be like from the microphones, but certainly in terms of usability, size, battery life, I can't really fault them so far. Battery life's really good, they connect perfectly, they stay connected. They're really small, really light, charge quickly, you get 2 microphones. So yeah, they're really good. I mean, the reason I'm not using my helmet headset is which didn't work particularly well. And the other problem with that idea is obviously once I've got my helmet headset connected, I can't then use it for music or taking phone calls or listening to the audio directions from my sat nav. So it can only form one connection. So with this setup, I've got the Movo microphones audio input to the camera, but I can still have my helmet headset connected to my phone for the aforementioned phone calls, and probably more importantly, if I was going to be taking turn-by-turn audio directions from my Beeline sat nav. So you've got two Bluetooth systems effectively running in parallel. So that's quite cool. But yeah, and then the other thing I've been trialing is this Insta360 Action Remote, which I'm not going to bore people with by going through all the functions, because you can just look it up. It's pretty basic. Yeah, it works really well. You know, one touch record, one touch stop. Tells you if you want to stop and have a look at the battery life. It tells you what the battery life of the remote is, and it also simultaneously shows you what the battery life of the camera is, which is quite handy, especially if you you're not able to physically see the camera. It might be behind you or above you. So if you do want to, if you're in a set of traffic lights or something, you can look down at the remote, see how much battery time you've got left, and how much record time you've got left on your car. So that's and also obviously the other thing I probably forgot to mention is it's GPS. So it's forwarding all the GPS data, speed, elevation, direction, map overlay, to the camera. So when you load the video files from the camera, if you want, you've got all that information you can overlay on your video, or you can choose to turn it off if you don't want some or all of it. So I'll give a little demo of that when I do the video. I'll include some overlay, not all the way through, because it's not actually something I'm particularly interested in. I don't really particularly want to put loads of graphical overlay over my video, but every now and again it might be novel, I suppose. So right, we're stuck in more traffic, so I'm going to stop the video. So anyway, I hope that might have proven vaguely useful to somebody, as I'm either thinking about the Action Remote or these Movo mics. We'll see what the audio quality is like. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.